Hey folks, so today I wanted to give a quick update on how my animation system is coming along. Surprisingly, it's coming along pretty well. Slow but steady is the way to go, as they say. So I've been showing sort of my guy here. I didn't make the guy. I haven't done much 3D modeling. I forget who I got it from. I got it from some very, very generous person on Reddit who was providing some open source assets. So thanks, guy. I don't remember who you are, but it is appreciated. Anyway, so historically, the way I've been handling animations is I just sort of hard code the current animation that I want to be playing. Not hard code, but I haven't really had a sophisticated animation system propped up for handling animation blending and animation transitions. And so the first part of propping that up, at least in my mind, was figuring out what the user interface for that would look like, because that would really determine, the user interface isn't necessarily married to what the code's going to look like on the back end, but I figured if I can intuit a way that the user is going to manipulate animations, that might inspire me in terms of what the data handling is actually going to look like on the back end. And this is what I have so far to that end. I have a widget listing all of the valid animations for my current model. And I have a widget for what I call motions, which I'll get back to, and then my main widget here, which is going to be the state machine that manages transitions between each of my animations. Now, I don't have a lot of this built out right now. I downloaded, I pulled the Git repo for, I forget what it was called. I think it was just called Node View widget or something like that. But I pulled this, I think it was LGPL licensed from GitHub, and made a few modifications. So I can hover over each of my states here. I have my generic armature action 1, armature action 2, and I have jump animations, idle animations. And I can, what I just did very quickly was I added some ports to these animations so I can click and drag and connect them. So I don't have all the hooks built in yet, but hypothetically, this would allow me to transition between each of these actions, and then I can really build out my state machine as much as I want. I could add a bunch of ports, input and output, connect an idle animation to an action, and then be able to loop between them. So I do like how this widget's coming out. It might seem trivial to some people if you've used Unity or Unreal. And they have similar sort of node-based widgets, but it's surprisingly hard to build one from scratch. So I'm happy that it's coming along. I guess one last thing I do want to sort of touch on, if you've seen a million animation systems, or maybe you haven't. I haven't seen too many, but I've read a lot about them, and they all do this. A lot of them do this sort of state machine approach. Some do more of a blend tree type of approach. I hear that's used a lot for locomotion. I'm trying to have the best of both worlds. The idea is that I'm going to flesh out each of these states, maybe add another widget on the right side here that sort of gives you a more state-specific breakdown of, okay, what animation clips am I using here? What's my playback speed? Maybe what's my frame rate that I'm sampling this animation state at? So you can configure each state individually. And blend clips and mask clips on a state-by-state basis to give the user a lot of control over what their animations look like, and hopefully in an intuitive way. Animations are really tricky, and I think I'll be providing something of great value to the user for now being myself, if I can get that system propped up. So, and I guess sort of the main driver for this system, which I'll end on, is motions that I have here. So this doesn't look like much. I have my little hands shaking symbol to represent a motion. But a motion represents your current place on the animation state tree. So I don't have any visual indicator of that right now. But right now I have, at least in this graph view, but right now my motion is currently on the walk animation. So in my engine's language, a motion means, okay, I have some marker at some point on my, in my animation state machine, and that is going to govern what animation is currently playing. And I may have more than one motion, in which case for example, I might have a motion that is on my jump state, and I might have another motion that is on my punch state. And then the system would handle those two motions and go, okay, well, I'm jumping and I'm punching. So let me blend those animations and push those out of my animation queue. So that's the sort of more sophisticated animation blending that I haven't implemented yet. But I think the design is elegant enough that it shouldn't be too much of a headache to implement. And then it should hopefully give a lot of flexibility to the user and look nice when they want to blend animations. So yeah, that's what motions do. I can show them in motion. And let me remove this one, so you'll see that my guy stopped running there. Trying to manage two screens here while recording on one, so forgive me. And I can just set him to punching, and he'll punch. He'll do it. It's pretty cool. I haven't actually tried out any of these animations yet, so it's nice to see my shadows are casting properly, if a little bit pixelated. And then I'm going to remove that motion off screen, and then maybe switch him over to a run motion. And so there we go. We got the run going. The frame rate looks a lot better on my end than it does recording, but it's playing pretty smoothly. So yeah, anyway, so now it's a little bit easier for me to swap on the fly animations. I figure another week or two, I should have a good amount, hopefully finish up the rest of the animation framework, but you know, I'm knocking on wood. I don't want to jinx myself. And overall, you know, this took about a week to set up, so I'm really happy with the rate of progress that I'm making on the animation system. I thought it would be the most complicated part of the engine, and maybe it is. Maybe I've just learned enough so that I suffer less now when I try to do things. Who's to say? Anyway, I've rambled on for long enough. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I don't know if it was particularly insightful, but I always think it's fun to see how other people get things to work. So feel free to ask any comments, ask any questions in the comments that you have. I'm happy to answer them. Always nice to engage with the community. Feel free to like and subscribe. Mash that like button if you want. It doesn't matter to me. I do appreciate the support, but I'm just doing this to have a good time. Hope we're all having a good time. All right, till next time, folks. Bye-bye now.